I do understand why some people actually don't want to read it all the time. The pacing of Dr. Stone has surprisingly been extremely slow now. Don't get me wrong, no chapter is bad by any means, but the pacing is just so damn slow that it is almost more worthy to wait a couple of weeks and then reviewing them. Not to mention that cover page. Is Senku holding a mermaid Kwaku? He's a celibate hero, he's not even interested in that sort of things. And why, and even though Ryuso is wearing pants, he's hardly wearing them in real life though, nowadays. Yes, this is Dr. Stone chapter 118. The easiest way to describe it is the fact that Kazuki is saved, but not the way we actually suspected it to be. Because it turns out that getting Kazuki from under the water was surprisingly difficult because he's completely buried. As Senku realizes that they have very few amount of minutes, he communicates them through special tugging. So Ryusu quickly finds out that there's another way to do it, and he creates a special tug, which is a Morse code what makes this chapter pretty cool. And a funny thing is that it's creating a little bit of the power of the friendship moment in a more realistic manner. Everybody except me criticizes power of friendship. Why do I not criticize the power of friendship? Because do you have any idea how difficult it is to find friends nowadays? You should be happy with the friends you have. Most people are betrayers anyway. So, but this creates a little bit more on the, a realistic side, is the fact that we can communicate through words because we are comrades. That kind of power of friendship. As Crow managed to realize that the tug is a Morse code for food, and so Senku sends out a revival fuel, but not to revive Kaseki, but to revive the strongest fighter. The strongest lifter in the troop, Taiju. And then Ryusu removes his mask to create oxygen, which becomes like open air, and then they will under it from the underneath. Soyuz managed to find the loose arm of Taiyu, and so the revival formula is awakened. But of course, Taiyu is now naked, but his scars are healed. Although this creates a little bit of strange situation, especially the fact that technically he shouldn't be able to breathe, and no, he's not. But I'm not really sure how I understand this. With the oxygen tank that's taken outside, it creates bubbles, and then Taiju sucks in the bubbles through with his mouth, creates sort of oxygen, and says in his mind to Ryusu that he understands what he's saying, because we are comrades, we do not need words. We communicate through our hearts. I mean, it's a little bit of the moment of power of friendship. And indeed, Taiyu is together with the other three manages to open up. Managed to lift Kaseki as well as all of his parts off the floor. With that, Taiyu is revived, and he also gets up from the ocean. Although I have no idea how, technically shouldn't he be out of breath now, or is this going with his inhuman might of the fact that he could hold his breath that long? Now Kaseki is the only one who can build them new oxygen tanks, and Taiyu is saved, but he has no pants on now, and we would prefer if he gets that in next chapter. Also, now his scars are healed, which is a little bit too bad, because that makes it now many others who will have their scars healed. So yeah, this creates a little bit more on the realistic moment of power of friendship, so to speak. Not exactly power of friendship, but it's more of the fact that we're comrades, we don't need words, we can communicate through our hearts. It's a sort of power of friendship moment in real life, saying that comrades understand each other and we should be able to help each other even if we can't communicate. And Taiyu is a big oaf, but he's a big oaf with a heart. The revival formula though is going for the fact to reviving Taiyu. So now the biggest question is how will they have enough to do Kazuki? And also they managed to get up. They were silent soldiers, but they kind of screamed when they got up. Isn't it possible that that is gonna be well detected? I hope not, but yeah, that's basically the chapter. Some big action there, but nothing really big happened. The only big thing that happened was Taiyu was revived and Kazuki's pieces was saved. Now they can bring him back as well, and with that, the true counterattack can begin. But I didn't think Taiyu would be so necessary this arc. Turns out he will be. But I wonder why. He's a pacifist, he doesn't fight. But they do make it clear that they can only build new oxygen devices with Kazuki's help. So they will go back to the rest of the team later. But for now, they need to revive Kazuki. And I hope they do that immediately, not just waiting an entire chapter for that to happen. So we can start building what they are supposed to be building. Because the saving thing is saving now. What matters now is the counterattack. Give me your thoughts if you have any.